I want to. Better yet, correction, I need to drive this truck. But can't right now because it's got two problems and it don't work. Only the best. Those of you that have been around the last few videos would have seen the roller coaster that this project has been. Makaha Runner Pre-Runner Project, because I've always been interested in pre-runners yet to have ever been around one. So I came up with a great idea to go ahead and try to build one myself. We got the rear end completely set up, front end last episode back together, and it actually moved under its own power back down that gravel road and back into the garage successfully. However, it can't move right now. It's a bit broken. So today's project's gonna comprise of a few different things. Number one, we have a $10,000 battery issue to fix. And I do have to come clean, I did lie a little bit. It's actually $17,115. It's been around a little while. On top of that, we have some positive camber issue to correct. So we gotta pull that upper control arm in just a bit without any legit alignment tools, but I have an idea. And also the last and probably most important thing why I cannot drive this around, she can't turn. And that fix is gonna comprise of removing bumper caps, relocating a windshield washer fluid reservoir tank to somewhere else, because I so badly wanna shake this thing down just a little bit. Mark my words, it's happening today. Guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, welcome back to paradise. So best of the best, Optima yellow top battery. Do I have experience with really nice batteries? No. Did this old pickup truck really need a nearly $400 battery? No. But it's time to reveal some of the secret financials behind this channel and my trust fund. I've been pretty transparent since day one that all the money that's generated from ad revenue, sponsorships, affiliate stuff on the channel gets reinvested right back into the channel. I don't live off the money we make here on YouTube. I have a real career and real job. This is my weekend passion project, side hustle, but it has been able to, over the last 5 years, 6 years, generate a good amount of revenue. In doing so, we can actually reinvest all those dollars back into different projects. That's why we're doing a pre-runner project here with the 07. It's why we have a C5 Corvette and Z06 wheels here on the floor, and why that 2020 Silverado looks so dang good. It's from support from you guys. Now, why are we talking about the battery here? Let's hop in. So it's actually pretty cool, and by chance, a total coincidence, 5 years ago this week, I hopped in this truck to drive to work and it didn't start because my battery died. But I figured at that time I would go ahead and test if it was a battery problem or an alternator problem. And as you can see, if I sort by popular videos, this is my number one by far. It's done 2 million views. Now you might ask yourself, what type of revenue is generated from a why am I seeing a Ford ad? Why am I seeing a Ford ad? Can you dislike an ad? Is that possible? So you might ask yourself, what type of revenue is driven by a healthy 2 million view video? And I say the word healthy because the retention on it's actually pretty good, which is why I'm seeing about 30 to 40,000 views a month. But if I look at the lifetime of this thing, this might shock you here, $17,115. If only all my videos did that, we'd be in a lot better position. So I've always tried to be as transparent as possible with you guys, like my ugly welds on my limit straps, or even the ad revenue driven by a 2 million view video. Bottom of my heart, thank you for the support. This Optima battery does not exist without you. Let's go ahead and slap in our new Optima battery so we don't have this problem anymore. All right, negative to positive, positive to negative, right? Oh yeah, that sounds super healthy. I think my old battery was going out for a while. I recharged it I don't know how many times. We got ourselves an Optima. Cost 3 times as much, but it lasts at least 3 times as long. So I think it's a justified purchase, but also it's got a yellow top. So I do want to say up front that this is not the final wheel and tire setup going on this truck. This is what was on previously. That's probably going to go to my dad for his truck, but we have our negative 24 offset, 10-inch wide wheels, and 33 by 12.5 tires. That definitely does not work. And eventually we're gonna have to trim this somehow, some way, because the tires are going on here are 37 by 13.5. But we're waiting for our wheels as they are back ordered. They should be here by the end of the year. But on top of that, you see this massive windshield washer fluid reservoir. That's not gonna work at all. Man, I didn't realize this is a full-blown kit. You have the hosing, the reservoir, but not only that, you have like the sprayer nozzles. You got 2 of those. You have this little T-split, all the hardware and the bracket to mount it up wherever you really want to. So if you need an entire kit, here you go. But we just need this, that, and these guys.
Can I clean my bike? It's like all dirty.
Like your face? Cookies on your face. Windshield washer fluid reservoir is out of there, and I'm gonna take the opportunity to clean up some of these wires, which are just hanging around, and figure out where we are gonna mount our new fluid tank. But most importantly, I think we just found out who our employee of the month is gonna be this month. Ah, got it. Nailed it. Congratulations, employee of the month. You know we have to do this. That's work. Awesome. As we do everything on this channel, I'll probably do a little bit too much, and we made it flat because I can't stand having this looking so poorly inside the engine bay. So we've looked at a few different locations to mount this up, and unfortunately, or fortunately, the best location is going to be right there. Easy access, easy to fill up. However, I didn't like the way it looked, so what I did, I painted it satin black. That way it kind of somewhat masks into this engine bay, and I put a piece of tape over the level so I can actually see how much fluid is in there without opening it. This has a built-in pump, so we're gonna go ahead and wire this into the stock wiring. That way I hit my button in there, washer fluid comes out, everybody's happy. Orange is the color. Orange positive, black's negative. Well, it works, and it's incredibly loud. Simple enough. Moment of truth here. Beautiful. No leaks, no water down there. Solid. She works good. And even better, you can't really see it. It's just chilling over there. But the fun is not over yet. There's a sensor in the stock reservoir which tells you when your fluid is low. Here is our stock sensor. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna plug this back in, tape it up, and stick it somewhere because I don't need this. Holy shnikes, this is actually turning out pretty well, but are you ready for some absolute brilliance?
Sometimes my genius is, it's almost frightening.
So on our front end, we have a lot of positive camber going on. We need about -1 degree of negative camber. We're not gonna be able to measure 1 degree, but we can measure perfectly level. My garage floor is level from left to right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this guy up and then use the laser level to align my truck. It's gonna work.
Sometimes my genius, it generates gravity.
All right, so steering wheel is straight. See what I was saying about that positive camber? So at the bottom of the tire, the laser is exactly at the tread. By the top of the tire, it's inside by a good 1.5 inches. Again, this is not the right way to do it. I don't know how much of that you guys were able to see, but essentially what we did was just guess. So I have these Dirt King alignment cams that are locking. They have pre-drilled holes so they don't shift around like these GM trucks always do, knocking themselves out of alignment. However, that made it where I couldn't just simply throw a wrench on here and turn it in order to give myself a little more negative camber like they would at a normal alignment shop. So I pulled the wheel and tire off, loosen this bolt up all the way to the very edge. That way I could loosen this cam up, slide it up a couple notches, and cinch it back down. And what we did, we guessed at 2 more holes. I had it here at that second hole, and we gave ourselves 1, 2 additional holes, and that's gonna pull the top of that tire in a little bit. Someday, one day, we will have to figure out how to align this thing. And I don't know any shops that would be thrilled to see these locking alignment cams in here. I don't even know if they know what to do with them. But let me know if I'm wrong there. So we got both sides done. We're gonna get the wheel and tire back on the passenger side, and then probably bright and early in the morning, we'll roll this thing out, get the suspension to settle a little bit, drive around the corner, come back, and pray we got it right. Before we go and cut up our bumper caps, I want to straighten up my tires a bit. So now that the suspension's somewhat settled, we're gonna go ahead and grab those tie rods and probably pull that tire in just a hair. We're gonna adjust those things quick and we'll take a look how much we gotta cut off of there. I'm good.
I want to be like that. Look.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too good. It'll do. This whole bumper cap's coming off in a few weeks because our pre-runner bumper's coming. Now, funny enough, on this side, I was just gonna mark this off. That way I turn the wheel all the way. And I got myself in a predicament because I cannot turn the wheel back the other way. So I'm gonna have to cut as it sits here because this sucker is stuck. If I turn it the other way, it's gonna rip the entire bumper cap off. My own fault. We're gonna go ahead and cut away. My goodness, guys, this thing is fun. And I'm taking a beating on this, taking rocks and mud to the face, but all for the shot. Hopefully it turns out okay. There is a lot more rattles than I thought there would be, but I think it's primarily coming from the bed, either like the tailgate or the bed sides, but like even railroad tracks. No problem. And keep in mind, we're still running on our 33 by 12 and a halves. It's only gonna get better from here. And it's very drivable, even with my eyeball DIY alignment strategy. Then put the steering wheel straight. Hands off. Hands off the wheel. We're going straight. Hands completely off the wheel, which is not advised. I did that in my driveway. It turned out okay. But on top of all that, I just did a full U-turn at full lock. No rubbing at all. That slight little trim we did on our bumper caps did the trick. Lean. I love it. I love the lean. So there's a couple quick next steps. Number one, fenders and bed sides. We have Fiberworks fiberglass fenders. I think they're 4-inch bulge and a 1-inch rise for the front. And then the same deal in the rear. That's gonna take cutting off our stock fenders. Like there's no unbolting and going back later. We're all in. Bed sides, I have some bed stiffeners from CWF I want to install on the bed. And then hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I will have the wheels I ordered for the truck arrive. And then from there, the sky's the limit. I do want to add a little bit of power, given we are throwing 37s on here. Not sure if that's going to be a cam package for the truck or do something blasphemous. Before we hit any highways, we are definitely going to do a bolt check. We're going to tighten every single bolt again, because the last thing I want is a wheel falling off of this truck flying down the highway. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty stoked on this week's video. The truck is a complete mess now, but it was worth it. And I didn't break anything. Guys, I am really excited about this truck. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I mentioned in the last video, I had this long travel kit bookmarked on my browser for over a year before we finally were able to pull the trigger on it. It couldn't be any better. And just lined up here with these two trucks, man, that trail box makes my truck look really, really tiny. But I think once we get those 37s on there, just for some perspective, those are 35s, those are 33s, those are going to 37s. And hopefully someday soon, my truck will be bigger than my wife's truck. And on that bombshell, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And until this point in the video, if you enjoyed this one, please smash that like button below. Helps me out, helps this channel continue to grow. If you haven't joined the Ohana just yet, hit that subscribe button below, join the family. But we'll catch you guys in a few days for our next video. As always, y'all take care. Ahui ho. Aloha. Ah, got it. Nailed it.